Yeah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. We can just start from the verse that we left off. So it is Tawkir, verse number 14. The Arabic original is, you can read it, or علمت نفس ما أحضرت. It is translated as every soul knew what it has produced. So the question for you is, do we really know what he has produced in this world? That whether it is real or not, true or not? No? No, but the text says we know it. How? I think alongside with the same line of thinking, while we are studying the Quran, how can we understand that? Come to myself and say, do I really know what I am doing? Whether it's right, it's wrong. But the Quran says, you know it, don't worry. You know it. How do you think the Quran gives this guarantee? Is it really true?
Good question. You said the soul knows whether it has done right or wrong. Is that what it means by has produced? The
Action.
I guess the result of the action, positive or negative.
Positive or negative or the result of that. You can experience what you have done, that's one thing. But mostly your ideas, your understandings. So as if the Quran says, we are created in such a way that automatically we know whether we are choosing the right or we are choosing the wrong, although we may not like to admit it to ourselves. There are hidden factors behind our preferences, but we know these hidden factors. That I am really putting this condition first, and then saying that I am putting this condition first and then trying to make sense of it. But the condition is put by me. But this may be in the negative way. Negative means, again, according to the Quranic language, denying the truth, or in the positive way, really confirming not the truth really, what we hear about religion in general. But if it is the truth that I am confirming, I would definitely know it. That is true. But if I don't really understand that what I am doing is wrong, then what I do, I cover it up with other excuses. Everybody has Not now. Primarily, don't think about actions. The reason behind the actions is important. Actions are the result of it. For example, why do you do something? You say, I'm a Muslim, so my religion requires me to do such and such thing, so I'm doing it. And I see no harm in it. And don't investigate. Why am I doing that? When you investigate it, you may find out that really I am not brave enough to question something. That's why I'm taking the lazy way. This is my religion, and I'm going to apply or put into practice what I believe or what I am expected to believe. Does he really believe it? He may not admit it, he or she. But deep down, it's lazy. For example, you take a class in a school, and the class teaches something, and you don't want to be really precise. What do? If you don't want to be really precise, attentive, and learn everything, what do? This class is not that important. You don't have to get A. B will do okay. But if you know that you should get A, but making it up, hiding your laziness behind the excuse of, it's not a major course in the class or in my field. Of course, we should know it. Let me ask you a question. I take a path, understanding, and I think about it, reflect on it, and for the moment, no one can be sure. For the moment, it must be true, but no guarantee. Okay, no one can give guarantee that what he concluded must be absolutely true. But he knows that he can make a guarantee. He can change it tomorrow or next year. But he thinks seriously and sincerely that what he or she concluded, is really true, not because of my laziness, not because of my other considerations, family considerations, societal effect, friendship circles, and I have my own objectives, but I cannot really spend a lot of time on this matter. That's how I understand. It looks like true, and that's it. Let me go ahead with it. Do you think you will be responsible for this? If you think absolutely for yourself, sure that it is true, that's why you are following it. Do you think you will be responsible for it? You are sure, absolutely sure, that what you thought, what you act according to your thinking is absolutely true. Don't say that, look, Muslims are praying. If you ask any Muslim praying, they will definitely say, I'm absolutely sure. Praying is right. If you question a little bit, look, brother, don't go further. Yeah, don't go further. Why? You have to have faith. It means really you go around it and don't go into deep thinking and take religion secondary or somehow a part of your life, not in the pivot of your life, in the center of your life. Belief system. You have to think always, question always. So that they wouldn't, they would become aware that they are doing some truth to themselves. If they didn't know at all, that is absolutely true. He thought about it, investigated, and concluded this way. That's why he explains his life, his existence on this way and acts accordingly. Not because of the culture. And he does it. Do you think he will be responsible if his choice was wrong? In reality, no one knows it's right or wrong, but let's say in reality, if his choice was wrong, do you think this person will be responsible? He tried his best to understand what he's doing, what he believes, and as far as his investigations take him to the conclusion that this is the conclusion, whether I like it or not, because people don't want to really submit themselves totally to the will of their creator. That's what I feel in myself. Totally. What they want, that is the will of God. There, presenting to me, but I must have some room for my own freedom that I like. Most people, they think, okay, they acknowledged God, they acknowledged the will of God, but they want to be free in their zone. It means free means not submit to the truth. It means, spare some time for his own purposes, to satisfy himself. What I understand from this verse, that every soul knows what he has been doing. It means not action, which kind of attitude he takes. Right? Now, do you have any questions? So I have to move to another verse which somehow explains this verse, which is a very critical verse actually. Taken for granted attitudes are not accepted. That's it. Okay. Do you have any questions or comments?
So your initial question was, if a person investigates after going through a horrible process of thinking and then conclude something, will this person be responsible?
If he made a mistake.
Right.
Of course, he doesn't know that he made a mistake. Yeah.
No, I would say.
Yeah, but what we do, we bring our baggages. For example, I'm praying. What's wrong with it? I'm doing the right thing. Why? Because in my religion, we have to pray. And I'm sure we have to pray. Is it a reasoning, really? Questioning? No? See? It's not a question. It is just cheating himself by repeating his own prejudice and making himself feel comfortable within his zone. The other people, on the other hand, those people, atheists, claim, speak big, like believers also speak big. I absolutely should. God created the world, right? Blah, blah, blah. It's very easy to say. But on the other hand, the atheists also sound like, definitely so, but you can scrutinize their claim. You can realize that they are escaping to put forward certain questions that they don't have answer. Right? Among the believers, it is easy to see that they are cheating. Not everybody do, but it may be. But among the atheists, that's why they impose their ideas. They don't let you be free. For example, A friend of mine was studying medicine. In class, she asked the professor. Professor was saying that because of the certain cells, I don't know which kind of names that they have, are, how do you say, circular? Yeah, not square. And that's why they can move along the veins and everywhere easily, because goes on. Yeah, journey is easy in the circular form. If it was square or rectangular, or in another form, it will, yeah. And the students said, look at, very carefully, to the professor, why the cells are circular? And the professor thought this girl didn't understand. Now, if it wasn't circular, it wouldn't move. And it moved along the body. Yeah. And the students said, excuse me, why is it circular? And the professor get annoyed and said, what do you mean? If it wasn't circular, it wouldn't be able to move. And she said, sorry, the professor said to her, look, if you don't believe in science, you shouldn't be in this class. Why? He doesn't have, the professor doesn't have the answer. Does he not know it? Huh? Do you think? He doesn't want to know it. Not because he doesn't know it. He doesn't want to go into this area because he knows that if you question the existence of any quality of any being, there is no reason, there is no cause in the nature that this quality will be given to this object, whatever it is, cell, atom, whatever. He knows. So what he has to do now, I have to stay within the world that I am experiencing. So if it wasn't circular, the life wouldn't be possible, because if the cells don't travel through body and distribute the food, nourishment, whatever, lots of things are going on, then life wouldn't be possible on Earth. So they made up a story, saying, oh, in the course of time, they became circular. If it wasn't circular, they would move. They wouldn't exist. The living body wouldn't exist. So how it will change itself in the course of millions of years? Doesn't matter, it doesn't exist. This is really made up, obvious made up story. That's why they don't question the cause of existence of the qualities of the objects. You understand? Cause of existence of the qualities of the objects. They don't want to question it. How about us? Do we do that? No, we have a big umbrella, not an umbrella, really a huge tent. We get into this tent and say, God created everything perfectly, forget about it. Accept it and finish. Look at your business. Do we really have any background for it? That is a question. So this verse is, to me, very alarming. Hey, even you may think that you are cheating yourself. You know it. But this is interesting. It doesn't say, the verse doesn't say, God knows it. Do you notice? God knows what is hidden in your heart. But the verse doesn't say that. Why? Why? by creating you. We understand how to read the Quran is very important. That's another methodology. By presenting the case that you know it, please, I'm telling you, don't cheat yourself. But in another verse it says, God knows what is going on between your heart, even the depths of your heart. Yeah? There is a verse like this. But we should say, how do I know that God knows what's going on in my heart? Here is the verse. The one who created you with this ability definitely knows it, must know it. Because he created you with the ability to know what is going on within you. Do you understand? So when you read another verse which says, God knows the hidden things in the heart, depth of the heart of human beings, and يوسوس في نفسه also, he knows what is really inspiring, what the person is inspiring to his own self in order to cheat himself. No. Our religion is the best. Yeah, what we are doing is the best. These stupid Jews do something is silly. You understand? It's silly. Why? Because he doesn't want to disclose his secret that he doesn't want to investigate. He doesn't want to go through investigation. Fundamentals, investigating the fundamentals. First.
No, good. I was just going to say, you said that from this verse you extracted that in a way it's telling me that don't cheat myself.
Yeah.
I don't see that here.
Okay.
I see that it's telling me that I know what the consequences or the result of the decisions that I've made. I don't see the part which says don't cheat yourself.
Yeah. Why do you think the verse says, you know what you have chosen, the reason why you have chosen what you have chosen?
Right.
Yeah?
So
every soul knows.
So it begs
What
the
is
question that now that I know what I have chosen, what is the meaning or purpose in me knowing that?
No, but pretend not, my choice is the right one. But in fact, deep down, human beings should be aware that really I'm just getting around it, not taking it seriously, making it easy for me, and guaranteeing the paradise because I'm following the requirements of my religion.
But I still see that like that's how you're using a tool, right? So if this verse was a tool and it's saying I have the ability to know about the choices that I've made, I can use that tool to now say that, you know what, I should be true to myself.
Yeah.
Or I can use that tool for other reasons. But I still don't see the use case mentioned in the verse to say that this verse is saying don't cheat myself. The verse is saying you have a tool, use it.
You can use it.
Yeah.
But you may not use it.
Right.
But when you may not use it, no, no man explicitly admits that he is not really trying to understand the truth. What is really true? Investigate it, question it. Everybody knows explicitly that he's taking the religion easily, just following a party or something like that, a group of. So, definitely, this verse reminds me that, look, be serious. I created you with the ability to know what you are doing, So watch out. Don't just oversimplify it. Question it, take it seriously. When you really take it seriously for yourself, not for others. For yourself, when you take it seriously, you say, yeah, because of this, I don't want to go to this way. Like the atheists, because of my theory will collapse. That's why I don't want to go to this way.
Can I have a follow-up question? Or you can go first. Yeah?
Okay, just follow up question.
So the statement that you just made saying that if I reflect on the choices that I've made, and then I will use that tool to say, you know what, I really shouldn't take
this way,
a
this
different
attitude.
direction, a direction which I'm not comfortable with. But logically speaking, whenever you're making the choice, like let's say this is somewhat past tense, right? When I'm making the choice, when I'm making a choice now, I am exposed to two realities. One, the reality of what I know, right? And the unknown.
The unknown?
The unknown. So
no, one, the reality that you have not investigated.
Exactly.
And the other side is where I covered it up.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by covered it
Well,
up?
it means I don't want to go into it because it will go against my priority.
Right. I think that's loaded. I think there is a part where I'm saying I have investigated this, I know this, and then there's a part that I haven't investigated this.
Yeah.
If I haven't investigated something, one can then say, you know what, it's too hard. I don't need to further investigate it. I just know what I know, and let me proceed with that.
But that is the second option.
Right.
Says you are just covering up what the truth is for you.
If I use that reasoning, right, or if I say, okay, let me explore the side that I don't know, that I haven't investigated, even within that funnel, I will now have again two options to say, okay, within this there is now an element that I know, an element that I don't know, and then you can keep investigating. What I'm trying to get at is there isn't a point where your investigation is going to be complete in the sense that you would know for 100% certainty.
It is impossible.
It is impossible. So keeping that in mind, I will make a decision that is the best decision that I can make, knowing what I know, right? Once I make that decision, and now it's in the past tense, I am now reflecting on, or I know what it has produced, the choice that has produced. That choice can be a negative outcome. Like you said, a person is not responsible for it, right? Because at that time, when that decision was made, the person applied their knowledge and was true to their reality and made that choice. But now that I know that it has a negative outcome, am I supposed to reflect on that and say, okay, now I will change my way of reasoning, I will continue investigating until I know till the end, which again is not possible.
Yeah, but you have to continue. That's why there is no end in making sure of your conviction. Belief, yaqeen has no end.
Okay.
So we have to continue. We shouldn't stop it. But mostly what we do, usually, that's it. You know, that's my conclusion. Mostly, be satisfied with the inherited religious culture. And then,
So, whatever excuses that I tell myself, and I choose not to investigate the other side or the alternative path, and the reality.
Excuse me, it doesn't have to be the alternative side. No.
There's two.
So if you think that you are solving a problem and it is working, so far it is working, although at the simplest level it is working, right? Why do you have to go to the alternative? You have to go on investigating deeper and deeper and deeper until you become sure for yourself, not in reality. You become sure that no, this way of explaining my being in this world does not work. So you look for alternative solutions unfortunately, this is not the case in the culture. So alternative sources, not necessary. But if someone does not get real deep reflection on the way, but starting from the very simple way, am I created or not? We keep asking this question. Am I made or not? Very simple. I am made. How about my legs? Yeah. How about my feelings? They're also made as well. Yeah. So how can I know the maker? So investigate the qualities and try to see the source. Then it is working. So the source cannot be found in this world. It's so simple. Now, if the source cannot be found in the world, so you keep questioning, further questioning.
Don't the excuses then become the reality?
Sorry?
Don't the excuses then become the reality?
Don't.
Excuses. Don't the excuses?
Yeah, the excuses become the reality.
No, but the verse says, you know that it is an excuse, not a reality. So, really, every atheist idea, denial, definitely knows what he is doing.
Yeah.
Now, well, I have listened to them and speaking to them. They speak with a sure voice. Huh? Science will explain. That is so simple. What do you mean? The science will explain everything, but the science never explains so far anything, any single thing at the very primary level. What is the source of existence of this? What they say? No, we don't question the source because we are not interested in theology. Why? Because we are scientists. We study the positive, hardcore matter and its qualities, how it works. But how do you explain it? From the very beginning, it fails. But they should definitely know that they are escaping. But the danger is with us. We say, okay, atheistic ideas are wrong. So my religious idea must be correct. My belief in God must be correct. Investigation, I don't need to investigate. I have no doubt. No. But lots of alternative ideas creeps into the way of reasoning while you say that there is God who created the universe. Now, if something goes something that you don't like, you get annoyed. Yeah. Why do you get annoyed then? Yeah. Why don't you find a solution? Since everything is created by God, it means it doesn't have foundations for his claims. But does he know it? He should. He should know it. But can we judge about anybody else? No. I don't know what the people do. I don't know. I have to be realistic within my own self. For myself.
Well, maybe there were different, but the way I understood it is like the way that God created us, or the way that we're created, or our existence. It's very clear that we're learning organisms. Right? You're born, you don't know anything, and you will always have this innate need to continuously learn.
Yeah.
Right? Here's my view. She's proof of that. Like she's always very curious, and no one taught her to be curious. Right? And so, and even when it comes to not just on a personal level, but even an organizational level, for a company to succeed, it always has to be learning.
Yes.
Right? And so that is an innate part of us. And if you choose that, you're aware of it.
Yeah.
And if you choose not to use it, you're also aware of it.
Yeah.
Like the example that we gave, like there's electricity. If you want to turn the lights on, you're free to do so. If you choose to turn it off, you know you turned it off.
Yeah.
Right? So either way, you need a choice, and you're aware of that choice.
Of course. Yes, you know the truth.
Because
But whether you know that you are really pursuing it or looking for an excuse to justify your own priorities.
Exactly. So if you, because you innately are supposed because a part of this verse is, it says here, knowledge, ilm, right? And then a part of every one of us is we want to learn. We are learning organisms. If we choose not to learn, we're also making a conscious decision that we're not learning.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Any more? So shall we go into another verse?
I see this verse also talking about to your level of awareness, right? So the different levels of awareness that individuals can have, and the fact that if you choose to view your world in a God-conscious manner, where you're being true to your human qualities, you're going to be living in a hell, right? But if you choose to ignore them, you're going to be creating that hell for yourself. That hell is going to be given to you, and you're going to be tortured within. But in that hour, your understanding of your heaven that you're going to live in, right? It's going to only be at that level at which you chose to become aware of it. So you're not going to be, the fact that you're not going to be responsible for the things where you were ignorant in, I think is very true, because it says in the verse, every soul knew what it has produced. So you're only going to know the positive aspects of the things that you have produced. So in the awareness, if you chose to be aware, you're only going to realize that, right? All the negativity is going to be thrown out. So that's your level of awareness.
Do you think the human beings cannot take the negative attitude just in order to justify themselves?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, but
You
know what we are doing.
Yeah.
Exactly, we know what we are doing. Let me see this one. Yeah. Now, this verse says,
من اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن ضل فإنما يضل عليها ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى وما كنا معذبين حتى نبعث رسولا.
This is an excellent, very comprehensive verse. You can talk about it for a week. Every day, not once every day. Now, whoever goes right, then he goes right, only for the benefit of his own self. Huh? It will be benefit. So that's for your benefit. And whoever goes astray, takes the wrong way, then he goes astray to his own loss. You will know it, but no. If you are not going to know it, that you have made the right decision, that you are developing a right understanding, and it benefits you. If you didn't have this capacity, you wouldn't know what you are doing. And this verse says, hey, reader, look at yourself, you will understand that if you take the right attitude, right understanding, you will benefit from it. You will feel it, you will understand. If you take a wrong attitude, you will know there, and you will harm yourself. For example, do we take always the right attitude or make some excuses not to really be serious about these matters? For example, fundamentally, We know it. And we also know that it's not hidden from us. We also know that if I take the right attitude, I will feel and get it. If I take the wrong attitude, I will again feel and get the harm from it. That's my choice. But do you think the people can harm themselves? Hmm?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We know that this is wrong and we do it. We know that I should do it. We say, I don't like it. I don't like it. But is it good for you or not? No, no, no. I don't like it. Do you understand? But when you do it, you will benefit from it. Right? And you will feel it. But if you choose the lazy way, when I get older, after graduation, after retirement, postpone it. You know, postpone it, postpone it. What you do, you know, you are very well aware that you are really uh, stopping your growth, harming yourself. You know it. And this verse says, look, really discover yourself that what is going on in you, you know that, and don't hide behind the excuses you come up. There are other verses also say, no, no, no. Don't produce any excuses because you know it. Yeah, everybody knows what he's doing. There are quite a number of explanations in the Quran. Everybody knows what he's doing without referring to God that, look, if you do this, let me give you the classical attitude. If you did it, do you think no one saw it? Allah saw it. Allah is seeing it. You cannot hide it from Allah. No, this is not the way of teaching of the Quran. If you choose right or wrong, it is within you, you will know it. That is the sign of knowledge of your Creator, that He created you with this ability. Well, that is the result. That is not the reason. As far as I'm concerned, I have to see the reason, and then since I am made in this way, of course, as I know it, my Creator should know it as well. Sure, but creators, your God's knowledge is external to you. It's not important. First, take care of your own responsibility. That try to understand what you are doing right or wrong within yourself. Question it within yourself. Right. This explains a bit further what the verse we studied. Now, do you have any questions, comments on it? So I will continue. Now, ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى, and no one laden with burdens can bear another's burden. But it is a very practical verse, very practical verse. It doesn't really mean that we shouldn't really care about people, but if someone decides to choose this way or another way, you can try to help him as long as he is open. If he's not open, you won't be responsible for it. So take care of yourself.
Why did you interpret burden as someone else's choice?
What else? What for example?
That's something I was struggling with.
Yeah. What is burden then? Everybody has his own burden. What does it mean? You are responsible to take care of your qualities, human qualities. That's your burden. But is it heavy? No. It is the way that you gain pleasure. So it is an extension. First of all, somebody's wrong choice should not be an excuse for you. Just take care of yourself. But it doesn't mean that you should be careless about other people. No, I understand that. But at the same time, for example, there are many aspects of this phrase in the Quran. One of the fundamental principles of the Quran is this. And the second most important fundamental of the Quran is the last piece. Now, let's concentrate on this. وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. It's a very beautiful word. Now, for example, simple. Because I was in this atmosphere, with this friendship, I was born here. My father, my mother are atheists. So, what alternative I should have? I have to follow this same culture because I have been hearing this. Is the right excuse? No. How about the alternative? I was born into a Muslim practicing family. My father took me to masjid every Jummah, yeah, and taught me how to pray and recite, taught me how to recite the Qur'an. Yep. And that's what I am now. That's why I'm a Muslim, because I was born into a Muslim family. Is it the right excuse? No. What are we expected to do?
Reflect on our human qualities and the reason for our existence here.
Be yourself. Everything must be investigated by yourself. You can find yourself in a certain culture, but try to question it. Don't take it for granted. Question it. But slowly, you will become aware that this side of the culture is correct and the other side of the culture is wrong. So you cannot really claim that there is no way other than being a Muslim, because I was really encompassed all the Muslim atmospheres in my family, friendship, and community. So that's why I'm a Muslim. And I'm happy with it because the community life gives you security. That's very important. Yeah, you have a community. It means just in case you may need, just in case community supports you. These are hidden reasons. Hidden reasons. These reasons or this attitude makes us lazy, not to be serious about religious matters. For example, can you say that you are a bad guy, so your father and mother must be bad people, must be bad people? No. Right? So this person, for example, this person belongs to such and such country, and he harmed one of our citizens, so we can declare war to that country. Is it correct? What are we going to do? What are we expected to do?
You're supposed to investigate the particular individual.
Yeah. In
rather than
particular individual's case. You cannot generalize it. most of the problems of the society before and now, they accuse each other because, for example, there is somebody, a terrorist, coming from Philippines. So go and speak to Philippine administration, say, look, if you don't really stop producing terrorists, we will teach you how to stop. It means really punish you. Is it right? Huh? So what happens now? If this is so important, this principle is so important to establish the social justice. On the basis of what? Individuality, if it is right word, if it is not, correct me. Individuality of the responsibility. Responsibility is individual. For example, let's say you did something wrong last year, right? Example, and you understood that it was wrong to this year. Can I blame you? You pretend to be like this because you were like this before, huh? We know you. Can we do that? Because let's generalize it. Last year's, let me use one example. Okay, Akram is not this year's Akram, and this year's Akram is not responsible for the last year's. But human rights, societal rights are different. You know, if you have stolen something from another person a year ago, this year the authority has discovered that you have stolen it, they punish you now. But this is not our subject. Our subject is you might have really repented. I don't know. But justice must be applied, but judge cannot make sure that by giving this decision, he's absolutely right. He has to say, according to the law of the administration of the society, I am passing this verdict, this decision, but in fact, you might have changed. I don't know. So, in other respect, let's say but I will go to another aspect.
I was just going to ask a question on this topic later on it. Like, I understand that everybody's endowed with the idea of rationalizing, and therefore they get to make their own decisions based on the choices that they make, and they get reward and punishment based on the choices that they make. Hence, they're accountable for the decisions that they make individually. But is there any other aspect within the Qur'an where there is reward and punishment collectively for a group because of the action of an individual?
I don't know about the Quranic rules. You can interpret everything as you want. Here is the verse. You cannot burden somebody else, burden on other people. That's true. So details. For example, you found out that I am telling a lie. Yes? I'm telling a lie. Yeah, sure, we found that. Does it mean that all my human qualities are bad? No? Okay, if you are, if it is sure, lying is not good. Sure. And this quality, this person has this quality, lying quality. But can you throw this person into the trash can? Because he's a liar. But other qualities are innocent. So you cannot really throw all the other qualities into the trash can, just because he's a liar. Is one question, one subject. one quality. We have to be very careful. If a person, for example, makes a mistake, we have to be careful that this person made this mistake in this character, but it doesn't mean that all of his characters are corrupt. We have to watch out. For example, if somebody doesn't pray, doesn't practice, you know that he doesn't practice the religion. Can you just throw this one away, this person? So, yeah, there are many details here within the content of this verse, this part of the verse. Yeah.
I know this is slightly off topic, but you said if one person lies, does that mean we can say that that everything else is a lie as well? And it makes sense.
Every other quality is bad.
Sure.
Like,
and that's not fair. But to say that every other quality is innocent or is fair is also not accurate, because everything then requires investigation. So I cannot make just as how I cannot make the claim of something being wrong, something else being wrong based off of one particular investigation, make the claim of something else being right because of one particular investigation.
we are talking about the principles. Now, we are talking about the principles. We are not going to judge about the person, about the principle. For example, if a person steals, or
we can apply it to ourselves, right?
Yeah, I can steal. Yes, when I steal, what do? You cannot punish all my being. What you have to do, you have to punish in order to establish the social justice in the community. What do you have to do? You have to punish the stealing part of this man. That's why some city scholars said imprisonment is not Islamic, what the Quran says. Because this person has stolen, you put all of his qualities into a prison and deprive him of his freedom, the other good qualities, because he has stolen. Now, do you understand this mentality? So it makes a beautiful sense if you really think about it. What else? What area you can think? What field then you can think you can apply this verse? Well, no one laden with burdens can bear another's burden. No individual, no society, no. Sorry.
I was going to say belief.
Yeah.
This verse, no one laden with burdens can bear another's burden. It sort of, my mind sort of makes it think about the opposite. Instead of no one laden with burdens, the one that is not laden with burdens is the only one that can bear another's burden. So I can't jump to other individuals or other materialistic things in order to satisfy my burdens, in order to satisfy that, in order to approach that hell that I'm living in, and in order to gain the message and the purpose of the things that I feel negative about and to grow from them. I can't sort of I can't base my satisfaction off of other people, off of other things that are also laden with burdens just like me. But the only thing that I can use in order to get out of my burden, my situation of burden, is my Creator. And refocus myself.
I think
I sort of get that as well.
Translation is it gives this option, but not only we should know it, that it means if you do something wrong, I cannot accuse your mother, your brother, your tribe, your nation. Now, if you do something wrong, let's say, with one quality, human quality, I shouldn't really accuse your other qualities as well. So look at myself. That's so simple to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so the way I also see it as is that everyone is responsible for themselves. So whoever is within your vicinity, I mean, you're not, I mean, you're just responsible for yourself.
But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't help them. That all the prophets struggled at most. For what? To help them. But it doesn't mean that they were responsible for the people around them or something. No, they were taking care of it. But they were trying to help them. But we shouldn't produce excuses to not to be helpful to other people. But at the same time, we shouldn't say that, look, because of this society, it is almost impossible to be corrupted, right? So it is inevitable for me to be corrupt. Yeah, it means society's burden is for society, your burden is for you. You cannot make excuse of the society's burden on you or for yourself. There are lots of first this I want to.
Another verse that comes to my mind, which I hadn't thought is maybe relating to this, but now that I think about it, I feel it is the verse of when I that you could refer us in the notes I have.
Sorry?
So, no soul will be burdened with something more than its capacity.
Yeah. No, not capacity.
Or what it can be.
No, it is potentiality.
Or its potentiality.
No, it is different.
Well, anyways, the way I understand this verse and that verse now is also when we say that no one is laden with burdens can bear another burden, is that you're only responsible for your potential capacity to bear a burden.
Yeah.
It may be different from someone else's, their burden may be different,
Yeah.
and your burden is unique to yourself because your understanding of the world is unique because it's you and how you see yourself in this world.
So you are a unique person for whom the whole universe is created. Well, not the person next to you or your wife or brother. You have to take care of yourself, but you have a feeling also to help others, to convey the truth, to really make them realize what is true or not. That is your responsibility again. Do they have to obey you? No. Do they have to accept it? No. But you have to convey them because it is within your capacity. You know that you shouldn't tell him. You should help him. That is within you. So I understand from this verse that don't make any excuse because of my family background, because I'm my friends, because of the society I am in. But go back to go back to the source. Why do you particularly choose this friendship circle? There is a reason. Watch out. But no one says, why do you particularly choose to be the son or daughter of this family? No. It's not your choice. But taking a friendship circle is your choice. And afterwards, you said, under the influence of my friends, I'm doing something wrong or something right. That is an excuse. You have chosen. So, for example, while we are using internet, instead of using this particular network or website, you use another website, and then this another website always puts me in trouble in many cases. Why do you choose that? You cannot accuse the website. Accuse yourself because you have chosen it. You have chosen it.
Can we think about this verse in terms of a single individual at different periods of time?
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
So similar to your imprisonment example, somebody is in prison for a certain period of time, right? And it's not forever, you know, like they don't get the punishment forever. In the same vein, for me to think about myself at a different, you know, in my past, you know, of something that I did, while it has a connection to who I am today, like I can't ignore it. At the same time, it's not an excuse to do this thing a certain way.
Yeah, no, definitely right. Because some people, traditionally, the traditional scholarship tells you that what is important? Your last breath. Huh? Do you see something right there? At the same time wrong. Something wrong there. Something right. You are developing, improving yourself. You came to this level, whatever you have been doing, and then death comes. That's it, you are responsible, but you will not be responsible for your enemies. You will be treated, the Quran says, if you don't notice that, if you remember, somebody remembers the verse, you will be treated with the best of your action. You got it? So how about other actions? No, with the best of your action. It is interesting. Another thing, in Islamic tradition, God says, okay, God looks at your belief in God. If you have a grain of belief in your heart, what does it mean? If you have a grain of belief in your heart, God says, I'm not going to punish you. What does it mean? Because of for the sake of this grain of belief in your heart, God is not going to completely punish you. Other senses, but because the other senses were wrong, other side of you were wrong, but believing God is right. So the Prophet encouraged people to have a certainty in believing God and make it alive. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do anything else, but if you really are convinced, if someone is really convinced that I am created, I have a creator, and my existence is meaningful, that is the requirement of the belief in God, right? And can you waste yourself, for example? That's how God is encouraging people, keep this, if you like, seed in your being, and because of this iman in your heart, a little, just the foundation of it, God is not going to burn this heart. What does it mean? Your other side of you may deserve punishment, but you cannot be put in prison totally because there is something truth in your heart. That is traditional teaching, but mostly taken from the hadith narrations. But there's a beautiful beauty there. If you have the seed of belief, what does it mean in your heart? What does it mean? It will grow. It will flourish. So don't be disappointed. So just keep watering this field. It means work on it more and more and more. In Islamic penalty system, penalty law, there is flogging. The people say, how barbaric is it? Yep. You flog the man. It is humiliating. Let's not flog him and put him in a prison for 2 years, punish all of his qualities. That's what, if you don't follow the revelation, you end up coming to this conclusion. You end up coming to the conclusion. Do you understand? That's why they justify, for example, imprisonment and blame flogging. Think about it, which is right, which is true. You can understand this. Now, and then.
I'm trying to. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. Talking about the last.
I don't want to get.
I'm trying to understand the relationship between the first part of the ayah, من اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن يضل عليها, with the part about ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى, about the burden.
Okay, but don't narrate the original verse because most of the people don't understand.
So I'm trying to understand the relationship between the first part and the part about the burden. What is the connection? How is it coherent? It seems to, just on the face of it, it seemed to be, we're talking about, okay, don't blame, an individual for another individual's burden, or so how did that relate to guidance versus misguidance? I don't know.
Yes, but I'm not ready to go into this detail, the connection between the parts, because every individual part of the verse is so amazing, I didn't think about it. So we can try to understand it, but I'm not ready to go for it. Right? Okay, somebody else wanted.
About the burdens. So even the effects of burdens that we face, the effects of burdens. So that burdens, whether they come from family or society, which we don't have any control over, but we do face the effects of those burdens. But that doesn't. We are still responsible for how we cope with those burdens.
How to?
How we cope.
Right. So, and just because X, Y, and Z burden has happened in the past, that doesn't excuse us from not. That doesn't excuse us for striving to what is ultimately right or the right path. Because whatever we strive for, that is right and the right path, it will only benefit ourselves. Like it shouldn't go back to, oh, like I'm not gonna pursue this because this burden is pulling me back.
The verse says, don't make excuse of the mistakes of the society, the corruption in the society. Make your own decision. Be consistent with your own self. But, of course, everybody is treated individually. We cannot generalize anything. So everybody will find out the way which is right, which is wrong, according to the life conditions. What we have to do is very careful. Was it my choice and why? Right? For example, most of the people come to the United States to make money. But who are they? I don't know. But that is the general trend. And make more or have a more relaxed, comfortable life. Yeah. If you were in Palestine before, man, life is unbearable, right? So why not come? And then after they come here, that is their choice. Now, but the motive behind the choice was making money, example, or having a status, developing a career. That is why we are here. Now, not everybody, but you may be born here, but I don't know. But you know, most of the immigrants come here to make money and become most prosperous and get a better position. Educate yourself, get a better education, and make higher income than your peers in your original. Okay. Now, after making this choice, you cannot say that, oh, I cannot really protect my children in this society. It was your choice, man. Huh? Now, excuse the society, not excuse, accuse the society, although it was his choice. And really, you understand that God is so just. Children's lifestyle and responsibilities are different. Your responsibilities are different. Again, no one can bear the other's burden. So accordingly, the children will go through certain stages of struggling, maybe not easy. And if you ask something strange, they bring their child, let me be a little bit practical here, not very theoretical. They come here to make money, and they realize that at the age of 12, 13, the children are getting into trouble. They are not controlled. Huh? What they do, let me make it loud. Send my child to an Islamic school in Pakistan or in Egypt so that he will learn Islam according to the conditions of Egypt and Pakistan. But the children have been grown up within the values of this society. When he goes to Pakistan, he will become more and more against religion. Because all the religions he is taught will contradict his values. Because there's a closed community, it's an open community. What do you have to do? First, you have to know what you have done for you. And don't blame anybody. Don't blame the society. It was your choice to come here. And the motivation was also for this. Now, why do you complain about this? This is a corrupt society. Our children are going astray. We cannot really protect them. No. The verse says, no, you are wrong. Take care of your own responsibility. Okay. Anything more about this verse?
I also see that in this verse it says that I'm created with a certain number of burdens, with some burdens. And other people are created with other burdens as well. So this,
everybody
right,
has to learn this.
So this verse is also sort of telling me that I am created to handle the amount of burdens that is given to me, right? My Creator is not giving me any more burdens than I can actually handle. So this verse is also telling me that my Creator is the most merciful and all-seeing and all-knowing, because the Creator is giving me these certain amount of burdens, and the Creator is obviously giving them to me because I can handle them, right?
Yeah.
So
no one can say that,
right,
I am not qualified to handle this problem.
Sure. And
because potentially everybody is given endless potentiality. We have to be very careful. But it is up to us which one of them we are going to decide to make it into ability. For
So
example,
I shouldn't
what's
be
your
lazy.
speciality? For example, so why don't you study the other one? But potentially you can study another subject, but you have chosen this one. So God doesn't give you any burden which is not within your potentiality.
So I shouldn't be lazy, and I should continue on questioning and working on myself. And I think that's the connection to the previous verses where it says, and whoever goes astray, then goes astray at his own loss. So if I choose to ignore my questions and I choose to ignore my existence, then I'm going to be at the loss myself. I put myself into that hell. But if I choose to be right and I choose to question and I choose to find valid conclusions to my questions and work on them and apply them to my life, then I'm going to be at right. I'm going to be at the benefit of my own self, nobody else, just me.
So, as a conclusion to today's class, because the last verse, the last part of the verse is underlined, if you, it is a huge subject. Huge subject. So, let's not go into that one. Why do you think, what do you think, we discussed this before, those people who attend, who have been attending the classes, they will know it. Prophet was doing in Mount Hira because he got fed up. Your wife is here? Is he? No, no, cancel. He got fed up with his wife. And then wants to run away. I don't think so. In the case of the Prophet's early marriage, it was wonderful. Later on, problem. Something, he has to suffer. Now, it's lots of factors. That's different. That's not something. Why do you think he went up to the Mount Hira? And what was the doing in Mount Hira? Someone said something?
Meditating.
Meditating about what?
Questioning about his existence, questioning about his purpose in life, and what he needs to find just to fulfill his existence, his need of existence.
Yeah. Did he make an excuse of the very corrupt that according to the real, true administration, every Arab society tribe was corrupt because of the chieftains who ruled them according to their whims. Saying that in Mecca, there are some chieftains, some people claim to be the leaders of the society, and really, we cannot really do anything because of their power, holding on their power and ruling the tribe as they want. No, he went to the Mount Hira to take care of his own burden. Right? His own questions. Of course, he asked the questions. It is easy. It's not easy, actually. It is the most difficult part of it. It is. I would say it's cheap to ask the questions. It comes. If you are open, the questions come. Now, he needs answer. Right? So if you put forward your own responsibility and put it into practice, start searching for a solution for it. Is the answer guaranteed? Yeah. The problem is, how can I really get out of the influence of this corrupt society? No. Just put yourself in a position or try to get, how can I handle my life without destroying myself, without being under the influence of the outside society, something. how can I get the satisfaction of my existence? You will get the answer. But if only you are consistent in your questioning. So we say, of course, is that tradition, the prophets are appointed, no one can really study and become a prophet, but at the same time, practical example is in front of our eyes that the person questioned received the answer. It means if you question, if you search for it, if you look for the opportunities, you will get the answer. But if one says, no, I'm not changing, I'm not getting an answer, it means he is not really being consistent in his questions. Search, search. Not because the Creator doesn't show them the guidance or doesn't give them the guidance. If you don't look for it, you will never get it. It may be in front of your eyes. For example, it's a general trend, but for some people it may be right, but for you not. Keep reading the Quran and never trying to understand. Even if you read it. Well, nowadays, not many people read the Quran either. But anyway, even if you read it, you get no guidance from it. Why? Why?
Because you have no questions.
Sorry?
Because you have no questions.
You have no questions. If you don't have a question, even if the answer is in your pocket, you wouldn't know that it is the answer. It's just so simple. So really, from this verse, I understand that we should never blame others, other factors, family, atmosphere, civilization, culture, channels, web pages, advertisements. Take care of your responsibility. Definitely you get guidance. Just be consistent with yourself. Inshallah. Any more questions? Did you want to ask more questions, sister? Yeah? Okay. All right. Now, or think about it. If you like, you can just take a picture of it. We never punish until we have sent a messenger. What does it mean? It's a big verse. One of the pillars of the teachings of the Quran. If you have not received the messenger, you won't get punished. But where is the messenger? Okay, we will study this, inshallah, next week and continue. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka anta al-'alim al-hakim wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Announcements, okay.
Inshallah, Saturday, Sunday, you know, standard time.
Not Sunday. Saturday.
Saturday, Wednesday. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah, inshallah.